About to head off to go hang out with my father and one of his good friends, my good friend James. We're going to go see the eclipse this weekend in North Carolina. This part of the country. It's the best place evidently to view the total solar eclipse that's going on. Excited for the weekend. Here we are, James and I are off to North Carolina to see the solar eclipse. Woo! Woo! Should be a fun time. I'm gonna party hard. So the first thing I wake up to is this giant spider making a web above my head. James, I got in the night before around 4 a.m. And to be honest with you, the first thing that went through my mind when I saw this spider was, thank God my beautiful wife was not on this trip, because I don't think she would deal with waking up to a big spider this well. Obviously, the first thing I did was thought, I should grab the camera and film this. But yeah, it went well. The spider didn't bother me at all, so I'm happy. I was just ready to start my day. After I got a cup of coffee, the first thing we decided to do was to go play a round of disc golf at the local disc golf course. It was cool. It's a nice place. My only downside to it is that it was rough, not mowed very well, and just a really, really rough course. But it was still fun to play.
Good throw. That'll come back. Right in the middle.
After we got done with disc golf, we decided we wanted to go check out Highlands. I'd already been there a few times, but some of the people we were with hadn't. So figured out we were going to go to Highlands, where to get there you have to drive by a bunch of cool waterfalls, and yeah, it was a good idea for the trip. One of the many waterfalls here on our way from Franklin to Highlands. Lots of people here for the total solar eclipse. It's a beautiful day. This obviously looks like a popular spot with everybody. So we made it to Highlands. Highlands is one of those kind of cool towns up there in the Carolinas where it's really high elevation, so the weather is just amazing all the time. We got some really cool architecture. It's hard to tell what stuff is actually old and historic, cool architecture, and what stuff is kind of more new and modern, kind of a hokey type of architecture. But either way, it was absolutely beautiful. I mean, just everything about it's a really gorgeous town. I'm really glad we got a chance to go check out Highlands. They had this amazingly beautiful outside rooftop terrace, and what surprised me is that for how popular the city was because of the solar eclipse, there wasn't anybody there. Literally nobody on top of this rooftop terrace that, was just beautiful. But, didn't bother me any. I was happy that we were the only ones there. We found this one really interesting piece of architecture. The metal was on the top, and then there was the slate shingles on the bottom side of this little overhang. I always thought that was really pretty. Every time I stop by Highlands, I always have to go to the Ugly Dog pub. It's the best bar in town, amazing drinks. It's just a fun atmosphere also. This place got me cracking up because their other locations are down in Florida, where we're all from, so it was I was just dying. There's a lot of talk about Confederate statues these days. I don't want to get into the debate. I just want to say that there was one in Franklin. I want to check it out, so I did. It was cool to see. Franklin, North Carolina is the actual city we were staying in. It's a beautiful town also. It's kind of the first big mountain town you get to after leaving Florida. So there's a lot of people from Florida that have cabins up in that area. NASA took the local community center and turned into this cool little headquarters where they're showing all the different eclipse coverage from throughout the entire country. Thought it was interesting. We found this picture that looked a lot like Matt Damon, so I had to take a quick glimpse at that. Alright, here I am. It has begun. They're calling it C1, I guess is the term.
It's majestic.
It has slowly started to disappear. Don't know if,
Little nibble's been taken out of the sun
see
right
it.
now.
But yeah, there's a little nibble is gone. Little nibble. I was amazed by the town. It's not that big of a town, but there's tons of people just packing all the sidewalks and streets.
See it like on that mountain or not?
You would think that it happened quick, but you can cover. See it run.
Oh, it's 1,454 miles an hour.
Oh yeah.
That's how long it's speed is. If you ever get stuck in the ground on the air truck, slow about that.
So the sun, so it's about halfway gone at this point. It's surprising that through the glasses, it doesn't really look like you can tell
We
that.
have the phenomenon of the things on the ground. That's kind of it. There's this phenomenon. It doesn't happen every cliff. But when you look on the ground, these lines, they're about 10 foot long, and they're out just a few seconds before they're down. They come across, well, it's coming this way, so they're coming this direction. They would go across like that.
So we're in one of the coolest spots. We're basically here off Main Street, where they blocked this street off for doing a little festival and blow up rides and blow up stuff.
Yeah.
Buy a big church, this little town square to do a band. It's pretty cool. And it gives me a big open area here to stand and look up at the sky.
They didn't know what was taking place. There, of course, you have to remember, there was no television, no radio, really no forms of communication back in this part of North Carolina. So it was really kind of a traumatic experience for people living back then. But we're getting close here.
5 minutes
And we'll
until
again begin our countdown, and we'll let you know when the time comes. We're keeping a close eye on the clock here.
It's really exciting.
And remember, just listen for the siren, okay?
Even though it's cloudy, it looks kind of cool. Wow! This is so cool! I did not expect it to be this cool!
Clouds actually help it,
Yeah, the clouds do help it because it's...
giving it more of that ambient.
Yeah, that is wild. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. So we've got about 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes of totality, so it's like basically nighttime in here right now. It is nuts. Oh gosh, I don't think I can make it have. It's not doing it justice. It is.
It's kind of eerie too with all the clouds. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is impressive. Wow. That is so cool. Alright. Like I said, everybody, I feel like this is not doing it justice for those of you that are on here looking at it. I mean, those of you in Florida are probably just outside looking at it. But this is really impressive.
So badass.
So there's the complete solar eclipse. Actually, here, this is kind of silly, but I'm using one camera. So, all right, so the camera I have is doing a better job at filming it. Let's see if you can see the camera. No, not working. Oh, no, where's stars at?
There.
Oh, there's stars out. Yep, it's the stars here in North Carolina.
Over there. The cloud cover is kind of hard to see.
That is so cool. It is looking awesome.
Building up. Wow. so I've got a camera that's I have to do a better job at filming it than. That's crazy.
See the red? The red's coming through on the edge now?
Alright, I'm gonna go so I can enjoy the last
This
minute
is a
without
grand
cameras out.
moment. You know
Have fun,
what?
guys.
Even though those clouds come in, they help.
So that was the whole trip. Now James and I had to both be back to work the next day, so traffic was insane. We were stuck driving for about 13 and a half hours for a distance that normally only takes about 8.5 hours. So I got home at about 6 a.m. when I had to be to a training at 9 a.m. the next day, so I only got about an hour's worth of sleep. But it was awesome and totally well worth it. That's the end of the video, but if you want, you can check out this little experiment I did where I wanted to test out my 3 different cameras I brought and see which one did the best. So that's what I'm going to throw at the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Here we are on our way up to Highlands from Franklin, North Carolina. This is me doing an experiment to see which one of my mini cameras that I brought, you know, looks the best, sounds the best, all of those things. This is the GoPro Hero 4. And this is the iPhone 7 Plus. Yeah, there's my dad and James. And this is the Sony CyberShot. No idea which one of these is going to look and sound the best, but I'm going to assume this one.